Good afternoon, Hugo. Good afternoon, everybody. What a beautiful day. A real treat to see the sunshine and to have it framing this fascinating Easter weekend of Gallagher Premiership Rugby. Saints win over Sarries last night, setting the tone, keeping things very tasty at the top. And a pivotal game today for both. Arguably a little more so for Quins after their Tottenham trauma and after that mauling in North London. A change of props for Quins. Finn Baxter and Dylan Lewis stepping up on either side of the scrum. The back five of the pack remaining in place. Stefan Levis leading the team from the blind side. Will Evans looking to benefit from any turnover opportunities. As we know, traditionally an area Bath do allow the opposition a little sniff. No other tweaks to be found in the back division. Sit back and enjoy the 9-10 matchup as Kerr and Smith go toe-to-toe with Spencer and Russell. Andre Esterhazen on the countdown to departure, remember, along with Lewis Liner, now a fully fledged international with Italy and heading to Benetton. As ever, a little rotation from Johan van Graan. It's been a consistent policy to develop depth. In comes Miles Reid on the open side this week with Jaco Coetzee at number 8, outstanding at the rec. There's a competitive Premiership debut at lock for Jacques du Plessis, and the front row unchanged. That half-back pairing delivered in spades last week on the front and the back foot. This time they'll work with Max Ajomo at inside centre. Cam Redpath is making way, and in the back three, no Joe Thokinasinger after his try-scoring exploits, given the weekend off, as Rory McConaughey looks to take his chance on the wing, and Alfie Barbary on the bench this time. There's a 6-2 split there.
Well, that's the position I'm going to focus on for the head-to-head. You said Jaco Coetzee outstanding last week. Could have got man of the match off the bench against Alex Dombrandt, a man who just typifies the way Harlequins play. When he plays well, Harlequins play well. But he's going to have to go last the 80, potentially, against Barbary coming off the bench as well.
When the sun's out, the guns are out, and it's certainly sunny today, and the big guns are out in these back lines. Looking forward to see Kerr versus Spencer try and stamp down that authority in the tempo, but you can't look any further than the two magicians. It's Voldemort versus Harry Potter. Who's going to be who today? Who's going to cast the spell and win this match? But it's going to come from one of those two guys.
Box office talents, mesmeric skills, instinctive brilliance. It's what we're all here for. Bath superb last week, dealing with the physical threats of Sale. Harlequins who've been stewing for a week on that walloping at Tottenham. We talk about Bath at the moment, Ben, it's not just about their all-round brilliance in the display a week ago. More importantly, I think, with an eye on the knockout rugby that's looming, just brilliant in that final quarter when they pulled away and they showed that ruthless edge that they really well need if they're going to hit the playoffs and maybe the latter stages of the Champions Cup too.
It was such a balanced game, wasn't it? It was a brilliant game at the rec, but so impressed with the way they kicked on. If they can do the same again today, if they get a victory here, you really feel that momentum is building. So much power within this team. Very, very big pack of forwards, but a lot of power coming off the bench as well, which potentially helps them in that final quarter.
Yeah, they have the cattle. We know that much. But that extra edge, a critical element, you feel, huge for their own belief in their capabilities, you would think as well. Quins to be led out by Stefan Levis. Some difficult conversations after their pants were pulled down by Saracens. It was their biggest ever derby defeat to Sarries, who looked $1 million, as we know. So sharp discussions, but equally well there's been an element of needing to park it as just a terrible day at the office. Back surrounded by home comforts and looking to rediscover their DNA. They all felt that it really was not a reasonable, fair, accurate description of how they usually go about things, Austin.
Yeah, after a game like last week, there's no doubt that this afternoon the intensity will be there from these guys, but have they got the quality to beat the side like Bath? Both sides of the ball. Defensively, they were dreadful last week, and in attack, like you said, it wasn't the Quins DNA because they couldn't get any go forward, and without go forward, they can't get width. Today, should answer a lot of those questions.
Will have taken a bit of heart from Northampton Saints bounce back last night. And the key for that, for me, was the big start, but then as soon as they got tested with that charge down kicks and Saracens scoring, they didn't panic. Sometimes when your confidence is down a bit, that first hit can really dent you. So they need to start big here, Quins, but also ride that first poor moment in the game they face.
In the sunshine then, Marcus Smith for Harlequins. Under the watchful eye of Anthony Woodthorpe, our referee. A first touch for Ollie Lawrence, who's been enjoying yet another stellar campaign. Spencer, who was so good a week ago. That try-saving tackle on Aaron Reid will live long in the memory. 6th against 3rd, going head-to-head this afternoon. 10 points, remember, covering 7 teams from 2nd to 8th as touches found.
You mentioned there about Bath and the tackle in the corner from Statman Spencer. They actually concede a lot of breaks, Bath. Very, very high on the breaks conceded, but their scramble defence, they don't concede a lot of tries. So the scramble defence is good. We know Quins have the ability to open this team up, but when they get through the gap, they have to convert those opportunities.
Line out time, and Hammond leaping highest. Esterhazen brought in Smith. Half a hole, it's all he needs. And up to the 22. Front foot ball to work with here for the home side. Danny Kerr tops it out. Baxter driven back in the tackle. Smith again gets it away. Dombrand smashed on the gain line by Reid. Launchbury on his own. Smith well behind the gain line, holds that ball back for Tyrone Green, and Oscar Beard is being harassed and harried by Bath, who've done a really good job defensively. Quins back on halfway.
No, he's driven there, play on.
Danny Kerr looking to milk the penalty. He's fired it into the
hands on floor, then onto ball.
Opposing defender. Quins win the penalty as Bath overstep at the breakdown.
Hands on floor, then onto the ball.
Tough decision that for referee Woodthorpe there, because just at the breakdown before, Beno Urbano had driven a long way past, just on the fringes of being too far. Danny Kerr tried to milk that penalty, perhaps gifted another opportunity to award the penalty just after that. But just watch here what Beno Urbano does. Drives forward, that's a little bit too far. Danny Kerr's annoyed. It did slow him down, but then an opportunity to award a penalty here for hands over past the ball.
Stoop in good voice early on, as they surely need to be this afternoon, and bang through the middle goes Esterhazen. Trademark stuff from the big South African. Leaving at the end of the season, but leaving with a handful of stunning memories. And that one, a hammer blow to Bath after only a couple of minutes.
It's brilliant by Kerr. Takes it all the way to the line. Everyone thinks they're going to use Esterhazen as a decoy and play out behind him. But right on his shoulder, leaves it as late as possible. And then the eyes drawn as to what might be happening with Marcus Smith behind. And Esterhazen just on that flat, hard ball.
It's a tough tackle for Reid, but it's the sort of tackle you'd expect him to make. He knows who his attacker is, he knows who he's got to take, and he just gets caught a yard away from him, and his arms get long, and then when you've got the power of Esterhazen running that out to in line, as he just has, you're not going to stop him. Great start for Quins, exactly what they needed.
7 points up, and the birthday boy, Andre Esterhazen, turning 30 today. And he's been doing this for a few seasons now. They are going to miss him when he's gone.
You just see the line there. He starts out of his eyesight on the outside, and then he just swerves in, and as he gets the ball, steps on his right foot. That just gives him half a yard gap in between the shoulder and the arm in the tackle. And that takes him through, Reid.
Just the platform that Quins were looking for. And here he is again, shaking off all comers and very nearly finding a way through their heavy traffic. Smith just drops it off, and the little dab kick forward from Oscar Beard doesn't work out this time.
It's a great start for Quins from the tries point of view, but they're very, very loose. We saw yesterday a number of times kicks were getting charged down, led to tries.
No.
Don't see many centres bouncing off Jaco Coetzee though, do you? Huge from Esterhuizen.
As much as we've all enjoyed watching Andre Esterhuizen, and as much as Quins have loved having him in their ranks, it does pose a very big question for what comes next when he isn't around, as Bath try to build a bit of momentum here through their own South African Coetzee. Terrific leg drive. Spencer to Lawrence. Russell waiting. Wide they go for McConaughey. Rare outing for McConaughey. First appearance in more than 4 months through injury. Singer picking up a little shoulder niggle, we're told, in last week's performance where he was so good. Jomo, Russell somehow got it away, and they do find the width. Was that forwards from Lawrence? Onwards goes Hill. Two former Worcester boys combining. Spencer thinks about probing that short side, but infield they go. Russell to the line. Jomo, it's loose. Could have been swept up. Instead, it's there for McConaughey, and the stepping is strong. And Quins just can't get a read on him. Hill, Russell, lovely handling this from Bath. It's floated out again into the outer reaches, and Will Muir is there, and Liner is clinging on, and Smith is arriving. Jacques Duplessis.
Tactical Bath going so far to the line and then pulling it a long way back, just holding those defenders in tight, causing a few problems. McConaughey, really good break, but how about this tackle for a loose head prop? Getting into the right position underneath, driving McConaughey back and taking away the momentum that Bath undoubtedly would have exploited off the back of it.
So you think we got a penalty for a lift?
I think it's a penalty. He lifts a leg past the horizontal.
Okay,
I think he lands safely, puts him down, he doesn't drive him in, does he?
Tackle, I think it is on bar 14, please.
Got it, coming now.
Have a look at it.
Rowan Kitt is our television match official this afternoon.
Yeah. So there's still an offence.
Finn Baxter under the spotlight here.
Yeah, just
arguably,
right at the end, he just tips
so
it.
it's
Right up until that point, it was brilliant, but just watch at the end, he's won it. He's won the collision, just fall with him, and then he lifts him again.
So it's just going to be a penalty on the 22.
I thought for a minute that was simply McConaughey putting his leg up in the air, so that it might have been, optically not looking good, but actually you can see the
He
Baxter
pulled that
arm.
right arm up, didn't he? Elbow almost went above the shoulder, and that's a trigger.
It's just a penalty, lifted above the horizontal, but not brought down overly dangerously. So it's
Such a bright prospect, Finn Baxter, who's learned so much under Joe Marler. Just 22 years old, but giving up field position as a consequence of that tackle, and Bath closing in on the try line.
It's brought down, but it's still a lift, it's still an offence.
Duplessis gone right at the back. He's a huge target to build them all around. Really good.
Got two balls now, hold on. Hold on, got two balls.
Get in that anchor position and almost use him as the pivot. Whether they risk their first big throw right to the back or not.
That's the question for Tom Dunn. Huge target, huge player to be bringing in mid-season. Jacques Duplessis for a Premiership and club debut this afternoon. The ball is won by Charlie Ewells. And Bath looking well set here. Dunn and Spencer combining. The touchline is the only problem here. McConaughey has it, he's on his own.
Dunn does unbelievably well to stay in there. Good awareness of the touchline with his head buried in the maul.
Here's Duplessis on the carry. Bath 5 metres out, and Quins giving up the penalty.
Slaps the ball.
Really good defence from Harlequins. Problem is, if you go to the front of the line out with forward movement as well, so Charlie Ewells dummied himself in the middle, then went forward, you're already heading towards the touchline, make it easier for the opposition.
So what have they got here? They've got Tom Dunn from close range. Feeds it back. Coetzee now on the carry. He's denied. Once more they go. Tight to the line. Reed, very close, held up by Quins.
That's a big mistake from Abano, that. That is white line fever. He goes the first time, he has a secondary go, and then he goes again, getting himself over the line. There's got to be a realisation if you're going to make it or not.
Yeah, but it's still got legs above horizontal, they're always above horizontal. That's why it's no more than a penalty, Finn.
The original tap's really quite good. He nearly gets there done, doesn't he?
Very close.
But then, when we see it from the other side, Bonner goes, there's one. He has another go now, doesn't get there, and then he has one more go, and that takes him over the line. That's not clever play.
Potentially a couple of no-arm tackles in there, but they're having to go so low. It's so difficult at that height to get your arm up. You almost end up folding under the player, but it becomes almost impossible to defend.
It's almost a case now, isn't it, of just occupying the space, just taking the grass, even if you don't take the man. Long from the restart. Lawrence on halfway. And Kurtzia, one-handed. Thumping shot. And once again, Finn Baxter at the heart of things. Here's Duplessis. He's come from the Bulls via Montpellier.
Yes.
Spencer had to take that on himself, knowing that Quins were there ready and waiting to pounce. They do turn over more ball than any other side in the Premiership.
Take him back.
Bath, interestingly, offer more opportunities for the turnover. They give up more than any other side. Russell to that 15-metre channel, still going, keeps it alive, and Muir is there. Liner goes back in for the tackle at the second attempt. Carried on by Thomas Dutoit. Russell to the line, a bit of a mix-up in the midfield. Duplessis has it. He's got Miles Reid with him. And then Marcus Smith looking for the intercept.
Wasn't there a knock-on off a Bono in the midfield?
An offside penalty back here. Okay, Kitty, just check that.
Have a look at Marcus Smith as well, and whether
knock-on
that was a knock-on.
10 is just a knock-on only, please. By Quins 10.
So looking at 10, Quins.
Yeah.
You've got a realistic chance of catching it.
So we got an offside penalty back there. We're just checking the actions of Marcus.
Well, that goes off his chest, doesn't it?
So
To a player in front of him.
Yeah, it's too late now. Sorry, Steph.
Oh dear. I think, well...
Okay.
Woody, just before that, we just need to look at that collision before, because it looks as though it comes off blue.
Okay, but we already had an offside penalty at this point, so we'll just go back to the offside here.
Yeah.
Okay. Offside penalties here.
Okay.
Right, decision made.
Yeah.
Never onside.
They've got that right eventually, haven't they? They're in the right spot. I think had it progressed, Marcus Smith might have been a bit of trouble there.
Matthew, have you got a number for him? Just the whole back line.
It's hard in that circumstance, Austin. What are you supposed to do? Obviously, Smith is trying to catch the ball. There are two arms in the air, but it does look like it's just a reflex, and the ball only hits one of them.
Yes, well, it's a difficult decision. It's down to the officials to make a choice. For me, if you're hitting the ball up and you're trying to regather it, then I think you're okay. If the ball's going down in a motion, then it's pretty obvious.
First chance of points then for Finn Russell this afternoon. He's been kicking like a dream recently. And that one steers its way through just about.
You were worried about the commentator's curse there, weren't you?
Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Yeah, funny old time of it from the tee, isn't he? Because in the lead up to the Six Nations, he was having trouble hitting a barn door, and then during the Six Nations, rediscovers himself and misses, I think, 1 out of 23 or something ridiculous. And he's brought that form back to Bath now. Lawrence gathers. Here's Reid. In on the open side for Sam Underhill this week, who's given the week off. All the directors of rugby face with something of a conundrum over the amount of time they're allowed to play their internationals. Many of them, of course, have had very busy Six Nations campaigns, and they're quite close to the threshold. Smith, question of a forward pass, flat at best, over the halfway.
Tackle needs the floor, tackle!
Evans to Launchbury. Yeah, desperate to keep that tempo high. Tyrone Green. And couldn't get it away for Oscar Beard. Bath have it covered.
Tyrone Green thinks that it's McConaughey that touches that ball and strips it almost as he's trying to make the offload. Just asking the referee's assistant whether it should be a Harlequins throw. It does actually initially come off, but I actually think he's probably knocked it on first anyway. Starts to lose it a little bit there.
Yeah, hits his left elbow and then goes out.
Just look at it one more time. No, stick with your decision. That's all right.
Okay.
Rowan Kitts had one more look at it. Quins ball. Walker to Levis. Evans. Kerr. And swiftly into the midfield they go. Great line cut here by Beard. Quick transfer. The ruck speed is strong. Just what Harlequins need. Danny Kerr having a little dart.
Still under advantage.
Dylan Lewis, the inside ball this time. Kerr to the short side, and Smith changes the picture here. Little dab forwards, no one in the backfield. Smith's onto it, Smith scores. It's just what he does. Week in, week out, sees things other people don't.
Haven't we seen that before somewhere in his first season? He came from the left-hand side of the field, goes back to the right, a little chip and chase, nobody in the backfield. He could have walked over, but he just lures all the defence forward. You look in the back for them, McConaughey's coming wide, Spencer's out wide as well. They've got nobody in behind. Gallagher's on the far side. It is a walk-in for a player of his quality. He scored exactly the same try, I think, in his first season, didn't he?
It was a surprise back then. It's no longer a surprise, but the vision is so strong, isn't it? He's always scanning, Ben.
Where he's at his best is when people hesitate for some reason. So he started creating that himself by changing direction. Oh, hang on, where's he going? They plant their feet, and that makes the decision for him. No one in behind. I'm already moving. They're all stationary. I'll just chip it over the top. Bath did have an opportunity to stop this earlier, though. When Danny Kerr made his break, just that relationship between back row, it's commendable how they rotate, but Coates and Reid there, what Reid needs there is Coates to go and hold on to him and anchor him in the position, but they both compete for the same ball, end up knocking each other out of the way. And a phase later, Marcus Smith goes over, but just those combinations, knowing who's your primary jackler and who's the guy who's going to support him at every breakdown.
Tyrone Green clings on to this one.
Covered. Use it.
Strong weekend for the Smiths so far. Finn quite brilliant last night at the Gardens.
Okay, enough now, three.
Terrific win over Saracens. Gallagher watches. Liner did so well, got up early. And then the toe poke from Marcus Smith, immediately putting Bath on the back foot. Will Muir with plenty to do.
Taking the ball.
And they've nicked it, Harlequins. Kerr drops on it. He's also got Spencer to deal with. Bit of width here could be interesting. Dombrandt to Green. Murley's on the outside. And Bath rewarded at the breakdown this time. Strong work from Max Ojomo.
You've got to go there. It's a brilliant turnover. Quins have played so fast, a lot of them are out on their feet looking for oxygen. But as he takes the penalty, Spencer thinks, I can go here, there's nobody in the backfield at all. We'll have another look at it now, but sometimes you've just got to take those opportunities and you've got to shock a side like Quins, particularly when they're on top in the way that they are. It's a brilliant turnover, they get over the top, but then watch, you can't quite see it from this angle, but when you see it from up here where we're stood, there is so much space in behind. There is tons of space.
Just wonder whether that's the game plan going into it. So yes, it was on. You need to be able to go off the game plan when you see those opportunities, but you've got a 6-2 split on the bench. You've got a huge forward pack. The drive's been going really well. Just wonder whether they wanted the field position and a line out.
Jomo, Spencer, Russell through the hole, space on the outside, and careering forwards now is Will Muir, and the cover is strong from Quins. In comes Green, in comes Murley, door shut.
Yeah, great tackle from Green, because when you see Muir with 10 metres to go, normally gets there. It's a lovely set-up play. They get in motion, then they get Spencer out the back, then you've got Finn Russell just walking through. Does he pass it too early? But the problem you've got is everybody's moving in the same direction. And when you get to that scenario, the cover normally gets you.
Great cover from early though, wasn't it? Had to run a long, long way to get in there and assist Green.
Danny Care's clearance. And what a kick that is. Fantastic from the scrum half. And a warm round of applause from the crowd in that particular section of the ground, still urging him forwards and hoping beyond hope that he might stick around for next season as well. Discussions ongoing, interest from France. Plenty of options. Dunn picks out Ted Hill, only his second game back from injury. 5 months out. And you sense he's going to play a really important role for Bath in the next few weeks. Here's Dunn.
Tackle now!
There he is again, Ted Hill. Ajomo. Lawrence, well read and well tackled. Uncompromising from Andre Esterhuizen. It has drawn the penalty.
Great read, he knows exactly where Lawrence is coming and he just carries on moving forward. Just aware that the pass is going to have to come at some point, whether it goes out the back, but he can probably just bypass Lawrence if he needs to. Smart read from Esterhuizen.
Smith as deep as he can.
Bath haven't done a lot wrong. Bath take their opportunities. The Urbano pick and go on their own line. That last bit of play down the left-hand touchline for Muir. Quins have been super slick in taking their opportunities. That's the difference between the two sides at the moment.
Interesting, particularly because Bath have been so good in the red zone this season. One of their super strengths. Care to nobody in particular, picked up by Smith, driven on by Jack Walker. Levis, Reed over the ball, Care onto it fastest, and then rolling just a little too much.
Just be worth another look on this. I'm not sure whether Reed releases him, so he has to roll. That's the difficulty when with this law. He makes a half break here, he goes through. This is the original carry. Reed's over the ball here.
He would have felt that that was blocked off, Reed, so he comes back and has a second go. I agree.
He's probably
not let go of him, but he's probably still seething that they didn't get the penalty on the one before here.
That's not a roll by Danny.
Doesn't release, does he?
But as you said, Quins are just a little bit sharper at the minute, aren't they? We saw this last week from Bath. They play at a pace, and then all of a sudden they come to life, and you can't live with them. The coaching staff will be hoping that they can find that in the next 60 minutes, because currently Quins on top.
Hill to Spencer and Kutsia.
Tackle now! Well done, H. Hold in front, forwards.
Russell.
Charlie, wait.
Puts this up for Will Muir to try to get underneath. Instead, Green claims it and sets it up well. Baxter on the carry.
Hold that. Use it.
Gallagher, again Liner gets up, and it's worked out beautifully. Dombrandt's onto it, Hammond just about clings on. That's gone forwards off the knee of Will Evans, but it's enough for Miles Reed to swoop it up for Bath, and there might be options here. Ajomo, wide, beautiful pass for Gallagher to swing onto. Done. Driven to the ground
Well
by Stefan Levis.
Great little change of line by Dunn there, so he didn't overrun it. The ball got stuck at the base. Spencer couldn't get it to him, and he just changed his line to buy Spencer a fraction of a second.
Green, all the escorts around him to provide him with that protection.
When you part of the tackle,
Look at the chip and chase again. He can see the space. There's a lot of space in behind. They'll probably go to the box kick.
Gallagher in the shadows now. Murley got a hand on that. Ted Hill's got it. But it was knocked forwards initially. And it's been taken by Danny Kerr, thinking faster than pretty much everybody else.
Gallagher dislocated his finger when he tried to tap that ball back.
Esterhuizen, what a ball that is to Will Evans. There's another peach. It's gone to Tyrone Green. It's there for Liner, and Harlequins have their third. It's a Quins special in the sunshine.
I was just saying, Matt Gallagher went off the field because his finger needed putting back in. He would have been in the backfield. And as a result, Quins again take their opportunity. Speed of transfer from the home side, first rate. Danny Kerr, the quick tap go. Bath slow to react. He does really well to drag the play to this touchline, keeping that space in the wide channel. And then Baxter, really nice option to hold, stand and deliver, keep those Bath players tight. And then it's just about picking off the last two players. And Green and Liner do it perfectly.
They finish it really well, Quins, don't they? Once they get to this wide space, it's a lovely pass from Evans, and then it's just a draw and pass and walk over. For me, and if you're a Bath fan, you're watching that thinking, wow, that's a bit harsh. There's a high ball, it's a 50-50, you don't quite know who's touched it, and then you take the ball that leads to a penalty. It's a tough law, that, isn't it? If you're chasing back, if you're Ted Hill and you don't know actually who's touched the ball and it lands right in your hands, is that an advantage? I think it's harsh.
Just yet another example of the kind of decision that all these teams are going to have to cope with through the next few weeks. They're going to be small margins. We know this league is as tight as it's ever been. The bonus points are critical. Those sorts of decisions are critical. The shot clock is critical. Marcus Smith, the calmest man in the ground, bangs it over, and they've got a 21-3 advantage.
It's actually a knock-on. It's a knock-on into his head. So that is super harsh. But
there's Gallagher walking off to have his finger put back in. And he can't be in the backfield.
Reminds you of Phil Lauder. Get in the defensive line. If you've got a broken leg, get in the line. It's a knock-on.
It goes forward into
Right
Gallagher's
hand.
face, doesn't it?
Stop the game there.
Okay.
Just need to look to see where that was off blue. It looks as though Kate.
No, it's out of protocol, Kitty. It's out of protocol. Okay, so we have to stick with the on-field decision there. Time back on when you're ready, please. Sorry about that.
It's definitely a knock-on, isn't it, unfortunately?
You can't check that. It's out of protocol now. Restarted the game.
The game is restarted, and Bath fans will not be happy with that at all. Frustrating times for Johan van Graan's men. They'll have to roll with it for now and try and find a foothold in this first half.
That's fine. Okay, and use it.
Trailing as they are. Kerr to the boot. And another excellent clearance. And we've got time here to show you a try from Gloucester and Santi Carreras, who are in front against Bristol at Kingsholm. Oh, the intercept. And a long old way to travel, but no one even close to him in the picture. So as I mentioned, Gloucester leading that one by 21 points to 14. Bristol, of course, who put 50 on Saints last week.
Bristol
It
had
the league.
loads of success in that wide channel, didn't they? So Gloucester will have watched that. Not quite as accurate, Bristol, with that passing. They went over the top of Northampton a couple of times.
Lovely offloading from Bath in the midfield. Urbano on the move. Russell to Lawrence, trying to cut that angle again, but dealt with. Two men on him. It's gone backwards. Smith has it.
50-22 is on.
The turnover from Quins. Ted Hill. Clung onto by Danny Kerr to roars of approval. And a Harlequins penalty to boot.
Just everything going against Bath at the moment. De Laurent's turnover. He's actually held by Esterhazen on the floor, so he gets into a horrible position, gets bent back over, ends up spilling the ball. And then Marcus Smith looks in behind, sees the opportunity, drives it down for a potential 50-22. They don't get it, but the follow-up is superb, and they get the penalty.
It's a clear out from Du Plessis that dislodges the ball, isn't it? Beard in with the tackle. Really good hit on Lawrence. They've targeted him today. He's a focal point for Bath. If you can put him down, it builds the energy, builds the confidence. Quins have certainly done that, but Du Plessis absolutely smashed his own player. Dislodged the ball. It's one of those where you watch that in the review. Thanks, mate. Can you please not do that ever again for the rest of my life?
Well, I think we know what Jacques Du Plessis does. We've seen him enough in Montpellier colours. Those of you who watch the Bulls will have a fair idea as well. He is some player. Not backwards and coming forwards.
Is that a little bit high on Esterhazen?
Yeah, potentially. Onto the 5-metre line, though, and approaching the point at which they will be thinking of the bonus point. Kerr pops it up on its way. Driven forwards by Launchbury. Levis now for the line, wriggling forwards. He might have secured that, you know.
I think it's over the line now. It's whether it was short and then he placed it. And is it immediate with the placement?
Okay, up we get. Let's get up again.
Yules has done a really good job blocking the grounding, so they're going to have to be able to see.
Just Kitty, just quickly.
Yeah.
Just checking for a grounding. If not, we've got. If not, we'll go back
now
for a penalty. They've got two options.
I thought he was short initially, and then he almost goes again, but I don't think he propels himself, does he?
Well, it's where that ball,
That
ball
Look at his left foot.
now is over the line. It's got to be clear evidence for them to overturn
The base of the
the
post
on-field.
doesn't count, has to be clearly on the line. Steph, thank you, appreciate that.
Watch his left foot when he gets tackled now. So watch the left boot on the floor. It's in red. He'll come back down now. Now he pushes again with that left foot to propel himself. So I think they go back for the original penalty.
Let's have a look and see what Rowan Kitt's view of it is.
Yeah.
That's too difficult for Rowan Kitt to overturn.
I've got
that,
a
isn't it?
clear grounding.
We haven't got a clear
Woody.
grounding, so we'll go back to the penalty. So, two penalties, one out. You got two penalties. You've got a high tackle around the 15, or you've got an offside just in front of the post. Okay. High tackle by 7.
Bonus point
On the
before
15.
half-time. A lot of sides from the bounce back we saw last night from Northampton. We've certainly seen it from Quins, haven't we? They've looked sharp. They've taken their opportunities. They've had a little bit of luck. It's gone their way, but they've certainly taken it.
Now to turn the screw.
Marcus Smith rifling the ball into his own fans there in the stand.
On the edge of their seats here.
Short and line out, 5-man.
Jack Walker takes aim, finds Launchbury, and then sots off towards the try line. Bath struggling to hold this for the time being. Extra weight coming in. Over the line they go. There's the score. It's the bonus point try inside half an hour. 50 points stuck on them last week. It stung, it really stung.
It's a fantastically worked try in terms of technical line-out drive work. Worked on in training, bit of a shift in formation before they threw the ball in. And then on the left-hand side, there was a player that half looks like he's breaking out, and that took, I think it was Finn Baxter, took all the attention of the Bath defenders. All those blue, black and white shirts get caught on the right-hand side. But a little bit of a decoy. Baxter wasn't with the ball. Bath thought he was. And Don Brandt had it secured and hidden, and they just drove through the space that all those Bath players had just left.
Thanks, boy.
This one is wide from Smith, but the margin is also enormous at this point. 31 minutes gone, 26 points to 3. Harlequins lead Bath. Let's have a word with the Bath director of rugby, Johan van Graan. Johan, this league is bananas, isn't it? How on earth are you going to get a foothold here?
Firstly, we are getting out-muscled. You know, we're not winning collisions. They've won the air and then they've attacked our vacuum. So first things first, we've got to get a foothold in the game.
Any concerns over the liner score off what looked like a pretty clear knock-on?
Look, we'll deal with that later. The fact is we've got to stop this wave. We've got to get into this game.
Yeah, and you've spoken a lot and we've seen a lot. This Bath side finding an extra gear, being very resilient and finding ways through difficult periods. How confident are you that you can find your way out of this hole?
Yeah, we'll have to fight back. I'm confident that our guys will fight back. Long way to go in this game. Only thing is, let's just win this phase.
Good stuff. Short-term things. Thank you very much, Johan.
Thanks, Andy.
He's right. I think the big thing has been aerially how good Harlequins have been. Getting those first touches, just causing real problems for the Bath back three in particular.
Just a knock on advantage.
Building on halfway.
Advantage over.
Spencer to Russell, the inside ball for McConaughey, but once again, Quins find defenders where they need them. Dutoy for Bath. You just do feel, though, they are the kind of side could click into gear quite quickly. They can score fast and heavy.
Cracking carry from Hill there, no right to get an extra 2 metres. Gives this team a little bit of momentum.
Urbano in the midfield. Quins shutting him down through Smith.
Good decision on the body, then goes to the ball.
Russell. McConaughey. Urbano again. The ball dislodged and hacked forwards by Evans. Back goes Lawrence. Gathers and sets off. What can he do with broken field in front of him? Little chip forwards. Danny Kerr waiting for it and grasping fresh air. Jack Walker, I think, has knocked that ball on as Lawrence came in from behind to tackle it.
Blue, then knock on by Quins.
0-2 required, middle of the field.
Knock on by
A lot of players.
No, it's gone backwards.
It's very loose, isn't it?
Knock on by Quins,
There's a lot of balls going down. You just think that Bath actually playing arguably more rugby than they want to on the halfway line. When this goes over, I think actually if this bounces into his hands, Danny Kerr touches it, doesn't he? Just goes through.
He's probably gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Time off. Choose receiving treatment.
Yeah, Van Graam's concern won't be this. It'll be the amount of errors. We talked about it before the game. They do make a lot of errors. They do make a lot or concede a lot of turnovers. But it's cost them massively this afternoon, and Beno Urbano dropping another one in midfield there, allowing the fly hack through.
A little bit of a conversation between some of the Bath leaders, trying to reassess this particular circumstance and find a way through it. Just so that you know, because the table is so tight, this is how it stands as we are right now. With Gloucester in front at Bristol, remember, as well. Bath would be dropping to 4th spot, and Harlequins would be right back in the mixer in 3rd place behind Saints and Saracens. Just look at the congestion there. 10 points separating 2nd from 8th.
Tomorrow's massive for the Chiefs, isn't it? They can win up at Sale. That will really throw the cat amongst the pigeons there, and I think Exeter puts Exeter in real prime position to make that top 4.
What we've seen so far, though, in the running, isn't it? Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. No sides won 2 on the bounce yet.
Hold on. Stand up.
And that makes such a big difference when it's so tight.
Not too far to left, please, Jack.
Fascinating if it was win one, lose one all the way to the last week.
Okay.
Does a win for Chiefs at Sale put Sale out?
I think so, yeah. It's a big ask, yeah. Not mathematically, but yeah.
Which might stoke Sale into life, you know, win or bust.
Yeah,
A
desperation
lot more riding on it for them.
does invariably provoke great responses. Bath on the move here through the scrum. That's a positive signal. Scrum penalty and an emphatic one for the Bath 8.
Cares kicked that away there.
And there's also been some petulance with the ball being booted away.
It wasn't petulance.
No,
He's wasting a bit of time. It's the right decision, because Bath, bit of momentum, they want to go quickly to the corner. They want to try and secure a try before half-time. Danny Kerr knows exactly what he's doing.
He does. Of course he does. So, less than 5 minutes to play in this first half, and the red zone stats telling their own story, Austin.
But line out here, you have to watch Lawrence, because anything that's 10, 15, 20 metres out, they've run really well back down that channel with a quick peel. He's not set up at the minute for it, but we'll see if they break out. Yeah, here they come.
It's Ted Hill's ball, it's Kutsia's offload that didn't go to hand, and Harlequins are lapping this up. Esther Hazen to Beard to Green. What a kick.
Just short of a 50-22. Brilliant from Harlequins, great response, but just watch the tackle by Dombrant on Coetzee. If he's not in position to make this and he doesn't bring him down, the pass on the outside is on. It probably drags Dunn into play as well. Crucial, and then the speed on the turnover, speed to flick that switch into transition.
Just didn't have any urgency, did it? If you're going to break out from a line-out from that, you've got to be quick. It's got to be a surprise. It's got to be on your terms. It's too easy defensively for them.
It didn't actually look as if everybody was entirely on the same page, did it? Which is a problem when you're looking to strike at such a crucial moment. Let's see her again.
Big shot from Baxter. He's had a huge defensive game.
No, it's not. Okay, use it, take it back.
Spencer, wary of the 5-second law, which is being implemented rather more vigorously at this point.
There's the difference between the two teams. Liner didn't really get the height he wanted, was under huge pressure from Muir, I think it was, on that side. Still comes up with the goods.
Take him back in.
Smith hoists it. Murley charging through. Russell, though, in the backfield and hit by Esther Hazen. Gets it away for Jomo. Another good tackle made by Oscar Beard. Been a significant raise in the intensity of that Harlequins defence, which, of course, is now under the stewardship of Jordan Turner Hall, with Jerry Flannery having left to go to South Africa.
Be a lot happier this week than he was last week.
Yeah, just a touch. Smith. Murley. Left that decision quite late. Liner bustles forwards. Green. And onwards to Baxter. Quick ball for Kerr. Trying to stretch this Bath defence. Lovely ball that. Absolute perler for Liner. And he's got it away to Dombrant, who will streak clear and, well, very generously hands it to Will Evans to tuck it closer to the posts. Harlequins dynamite in this first 40.
This is a brilliant try and a wonderful line from Liner, and the timing of the pass from Marcus Smith, just bringing the defender on. As it comes out, actually, they're in a really bad shape, but it's the injection of pace. Look, it's a flat ball. It's not the best pass from Danny Kerr. It slows them all down, but that little pop pass from Smith and the line from Liner, that is worth the 7 points, like you said. Never pass the ball over the line.
You can take the whole time.
Just in case.
You can take the whole time.
Defensively, they're narrow anyway, Bath. And Jomo goes and tries to solve it himself against one of the best ball players in European rugby. And he flies out the line, and if you do that, you have to come up with the ball. Unfortunately, Marcus Smith, an absolute perler of a pass. And as soon as he was round Jomo, it was just about picking off the numbers.
Marcus Smith just checking the timings here. He's got plenty in the tank. This will take us to the half-time break.
Luke Pearce almost made Finsmith kick one last night. Taking too long, but we watched this line again. It was absolutely brilliant. Look where he comes from. Line is absolutely miles away. He's still behind the ruck, and then he gets there, he accelerates, he tells him he's there. That's fantastic rugby.
Great vision. But a Jomo there. There's a man there to make that tackle. Big error.
Well, what a half of rugby from Harlequins. They were absolutely walloped a week ago. They have found a fantastic response. They've scored 5 tries and they lead Bath, who themselves were brilliant a week ago, by 33 points to 3 at the break. Well, Finn Russell looks casual, as he invariably does, but there will no question have been some stern words in the Bath dressing room at half-time. They were unnaturally early to return to the field. I wonder if that had anything to do with what the coaches were up to.
Like when you're in trouble with your parents, I'm going out now.
Somewhere to be, something to do, something very important to do. They've been nowhere near their best in the first 40 minutes, completely outplayed. And Harlequins have recovered themselves after the horrors of last week. So this league just continues to baffle and confound. And immediately Bath on the wrong side of the Anthony Woodthorpe whistle early in the second period here. I mean, I suppose the question, Ben, what do they do strategically, and do they deploy their bench early?
Yes, they deploy their bench early. The chat at half-time will have been realistic. First target, 4-try bonus. It's possible Harlequins might not be quite as on it. Potentially might concede, but they've just got to go all-out attack. You'd expect someone like some of those people that can change the momentum with their carrying style, Alfie Barbary, maybe Elliot Stoop, to come on, give a bit of power, but they've just got to be more accurate. You know, there have been a number of occasions, not only with getting close to the line, but the amount of ball they dropped, and then aerially as well.
Oh, now possession is theirs. Coetzee has for the most part been a terrific carrier in this game to date. Duplessis continues the motion. Here's Russell for Lawrence. They've had 2 men on him all afternoon, Harlequins, recognising that he has been and continues to be very much a focal point for their attacks. Flat ball once more finding Coetzee. He's dropped it. He's dropped it just when momentum was building.
Yeah, he's tried his hardest, Coetzee, today, but he hasn't really got the same meters as we saw in the second half from him last week. When you've got Barbary on the bench, like you said, often change is what's required. They haven't got many options in the backs because they've only brought 2 with them. And you wouldn't think that they're going to try and bring on a 9 and 10 to change it up. So the back row needs to give them some go forward, but also some quick ball. They need to sort out their back 3 aerially as well, compete a little bit harder. They get that, they'll get some field position, and when they do get in the red zone, we know Bath are pretty good.
Time back on. Thank you.
Alfie Barbary and Will Stewart waiting in the wings, amongst others. 6-2 split on that bench, so they got some heavy artillery to deploy when they want to. Straight down in the front row.
Smooth over.
Such an interesting period, isn't it? Not just because of the tightness of the league, Ben, and the way all the sides are so heavily congested, but mentally fascinating. Week by week, sides rebuilt, falling apart, rebuilt again. It's kind of all over the place.
Because of the season structure, it's almost like you've gone away, we've had a break, and now it's knockout rugby. With the way the league was, how tight it was, it's knockout rugby, and it's a bit like a Six Nations, who hits their straps the quickest and gets that momentum and confidence that carries them through to the end of the season. Big losses can be very damaging, or as Harlequins have found out, you can put them behind you very, very quickly.
Smith with another half break. Kerr retreating, finding Dylan Lewis. Launchbury. Coetzee waiting for him.
Use it, please.
This one's heading skywards, and Matt Gallagher is waiting. Back come the escorts from Bath. Gallagher piles forwards. He's held very effectively by Levis, but he smuggled it away. Muir trying to use that big fend, but nothing doing. Dutoy.
Tackle!
Stopped by the enormous arms of Joe Launchbury. Duplessis.
No, he fell over.
Russell. Wide to Lawrence. Done. Met well by Evans. Russell trying to dance through the traffic. Ball on the ground, picked up by Duplessis. Coetzee just not finding the purchase at the moment. Bath could do with a little more punch, and passes like that won't help them. McConaughey tidying, and then straightening but running into Miles Reed, then pirouetting through the tackle. He's actually done really well. Reed picks up and drives forwards. Evans gathers and steals, and Baxter flings it out for Green.
He does, Ali, but he loses his feet.
Yeah,
it's completely off his feet.
He's granted a lot of licence there by Anthony Woodthorpe. I think even he was surprised that
Dunn fell over. Dunn, who would have cleared him out, fell over, and that created the opportunity. He was unopposed. Whether he's lifted the ball before he falls over, which he's entitled to do.
Knock on, my blue.
Forwards from Muir.
Playing advantage.
Set up by Levis.
Still playing advantage.
Oh, it's fast and loose from Quins. Donbrand just squirts it away. Danny Kerr waits for Smith to run onto the ball, and then Green explodes into life through Tom Dunn and up to halfway, and the offload is brilliant, and Danny Kerr's got options and tries to thread the needle. Back come the Bath defenders. And a penalty as Quins joined the ruck from the side.
2 Quins.
What a shame that is. Brilliant from Green again. The double step, wrong foot 2 players, and then accelerate into the space. Really good recovery from McConaughey to get back, get a hand on the ball. Just wondered whether Danny Kerr might nudge it through with the outside of his left boot.
Yeah, I thought Kerr was going to kick this as he goes through. The angle's all set up for him. He instigates it with a no-look pass. Little step in and out, then the footwork, like you said. As Danny gets it back now, though, you just thought, we've seen this game before, haven't we? Puts it on the outside of his right foot. He's almost setting himself, but then decides to try and bend the pass around. Again, another opportunity for Bath, though, to show some energy and tap and go.
Alfie Barbary is with us on the field.
Beyond 15.
For Bath, he's lurking in the midfield, and here he comes at full steam. Shut down in the midfield by Will Evans. The ball is loose, picked up brilliantly by Donbrand. Very nearly freed that up for the offload as well. Levis into the wide channel through Kerr. Russell. Gallagher to the boot. Green in the backfield.
If there's any team you don't want to play against who have no jeopardy of potentially losing the game, it's Harlequins.
Beard to Liner, slides past Miles Reed, plenty of support runners. Beard back to Esterhazen. It's a bumper birthday. 2 for the day, 6 in all for Quins, who are rampant.
They are destroying Bath, aren't they, on the bouncing ball on the floor. As Ben said, when you play against Quins and they've lost all the jeopardy of the game, they just let loose, they're free, there's a freedom to their play. This is a great example. They just go to the short side, draw a pass, acceleration from Liner, gets out of the grasp, and then where's the cover? I know you're losing, Bath, but where's your cover defence? You've primed yourself on that all season, and today it's on holiday.
I'm just thinking about the kind of ramifications of these big scorelines. You know, the 50-pointers last weekend. I suppose what it's telling us more than anything is that it is enormously unpredictable, and you can have a stinker one week and you can be brilliant the next, And that might be enough to get you into the last 4, into the playoffs, at which point semis and final, there is no margin for error.
I think part of it is, the change in laws over the last few years has encouraged more attacking play, and it means that whenever you get on a roll and you start to open up, you can destroy teams. And it's not about form going into it. Harlequins, you look at last week, they were dreadful. It's just about what happens in the game, those opportunities early on. And we saw it last night, Northampton, exactly the same. Opportunities early on, they took them and they accelerated and they blew Saracens away.
40 points to 3. And we haven't even hit the 50th minute. Andre Esterhazen with 2. He's now scored 5 in his last 6 outings.
Yeah, and so far in the last 2 weekends, we've only seen 1 away win. That's Leicester at Newcastle. So home form, albeit at the Tottenham Stadium, has gone a long way.
Any other theories as to why we're seeing these vagaries in the results, Austin?
Take him back in.
I think sides, there's, like we said before, they're so finely balanced. You've got to come with an intensity and an energy, and that 1% difference can be all you need to absolutely accelerate away from the opposition. That try was a great example. There was 0 cover. Guys were walking back for Bath. It's almost like they've given up.
I suppose the unknown as well from the Six Nations hiatus. How have you handled it? What have you done in that time? Everyone's done something a little different. Lawrence caught by Liner.
Does well to look after the ball. That Lawrence there is in big trouble, highly exposed.
I think Bath are getting done in the midfield, Ali. They've got to start coming back to the short side a lot more rather than just going the same way.
Urbano picks up and drives on. He's clung on to. Good tackle made by Hammond. Gallagher with the ball knocked onwards. Bath have options and Ajomo moves on to the ball nicely. Russell, Gallagher within 5 metres. Must be around about the first time Bath have been anywhere like this close. Ted Hill buffeted, so too Tom Dunn by the Harlequins tacklers. Thomas Dutoy rumbles onwards. They've given up a penalty here, Quins. Don Brandt lying all over it. And Bath for the first time having a sniff of that try line.
Time off, hold on.
Just that combination of wide quickly, but then when you're getting opportunities to attack down the same channel. Urbano with a big carry through midfield. It's a huge hit right at the end of it. Here's Urbano, it's not really on, but it's no one in front of him, reacts well. That disrupts Harlequins, narrows up their defensive line, so now they can afford to play a bit wider again. That was the tackle that came in. Was it Murley there that just closed the gap? Knock on, but not deemed to be deliberate. And then you thought they might go in there. But again, really good defence from Harlequins on their own line.
Let's bring in Nick Evans, attack coach for Quins. Nick, I'm tempted to ask you what on earth went on this week at Surrey Sports Park. Many words or none required? Certainly you've got the response you were after.
Yeah, no, it was a great week, mate. Yeah, some pretty honest conversations on a Monday, as you do after a performance like that. And the boys were hurting, and it's not just the players. I think the coaches and the staff, and we've got a response which is fantastic. And I think we've been really good at kind of the areas of the game that probably people don't think we're, tickles our fancy. The aerial battles we've been really good. Our wingers have gone up, and we've been banging people in the first half. We just need to make sure we continue that for the next 30 minutes.
Okay, brilliant, Nick. Time to concentrate. Thanks so much for your time.
Time on!
All been going Quins' way, but Bath for the first time, pretty much, certainly in the second period, through Tom Dunn, who came close before, and again denied at the line. Barbary, Urbano not far away, trying to place it on the line. One more effort from Charlie Ewells. Spencer whips it away. Close range stuff hasn't worked. Russell pops it out of the back door, and Muir should finish from here. 2 men on him, and it might require checking, but he thinks he's got it.
Held up. Referee's call.
Oh, you think you got a grounding from behind?
I thought he grounded that.
Okay, I say, we'll just check it.
Yeah.
When I come round, I see it in the air. But...
So I thought it got under his elbow. I just thought I saw the ball on the ground.
Okay, so on-field try. Okay.
Right. John Meredith, who's running touch on this near side, thought he'd found the grounding.
There's no Quins players underneath.
It's going to be a tough one.
When I come round, it's in the air, but John is pretty sure it's...
try.
Yes.
There it is. Or is the knee underneath it?
I don't think there's enough to rule it out, is there?
Yeah, I've got nothing different to that, so stick with your on-field so far. There's nothing.
Won't see from this angle because the other leg will block the view.
More.
Yeah, I think that's enough there. Like you said, there's nothing conclusive the other way to say that he didn't. So go with the officials on.
Yeah, I've got nothing different.
On-field.
Okay, so stick with the on-field try. Okay.
A first try of the afternoon after 52 minutes for Will Muir of Bath. And finally, something in their column that they can be proud of.
Incredible recovery from Finn Russell because he got caught making probably the wrong decision, but he didn't die with it. Here has a go himself, gets caught, and then draws liner in. That is an incredible offload to shape the hand to make the ball go flat horizontally across the pitch. When he started to throw it, it would have gone behind the player. Really good touch from Russell.
Lewis Liner coming steaming out of the blocks to try to charge that down for Harlequins. Russell puts it wide, but Bath are on the board. There's that brilliant bit of skill that set it all up, and Muir with plenty to do here. 40 points to 8, the margin, and obviously that 4 tries, they will be the target for Bath.
Austin was mentioning about Bath's response after a break and how quickly they got across. You've got to be impressed with Harlequins there. That fight to not concede any points at all doesn't come to anything for them, but the effort was there. They very nearly stopped to try.
Well taken by Gallagher of Bath. Him, like Lewis Liner, heading to Benetton next season. Jack Walker is off the field at the moment for a head injury assessment. Will Collier's come on for Dylan Lewis, and Will Trenholm is on in the back row for Harlequins. Green, very elusive.
How good has Green been today? Right back to his very, very best.
Tackle! Pressure! Pressure! Use it, please, Danny.
Care's box kick. Liner's been doing so well getting up to tap it down. This time it falls for Barbary. Reed, once more hit by Baxter, who's put in a number of very high-profile tackles this afternoon. Green stays inside the 22 and lets fly. Tricky one for Gallagher to cope with, and his little dab forwards allows Murley onto the ball. Counter ruck is strong from Bath though, and they've won it back. Spencer to Hill to Russell. Niall Annett, Ajomo. Reed, Russell, Muir tries to accelerate. Space now for Gallagher. Chips over Tyrone Green, across comes Smith, and very swiftly onto him is Muir. Smith having to work very hard, so close to the try line.
Did fantastically well there, Smith. Left the ball behind him, and then, like you said, Ali, took the space.
Liner did the right thing as well by picking the ball up. Could have easily gone and tried to hold out, but by picking it up, the counter ruck couldn't do anything.
Bath offside through Jacques Duplessis.
You never asked me a question, though.
There's a good kick. I think he might have been in front of him, Muir, anyway, but he does so well, Smith. Watch his hit. He could just try and die on the ball there, but he doesn't. He lets it go and then grabs hold of the legs. I think it might be Ted Hill, is it? No, it's Stoop. Gets hold of Stoop's legs. This will give us a really good angle, actually, for all the kids at home. Don't die on the floor. Let's go with the ball. Grabs hold and gets some purchase on Stoop so he can own the space. Very clever play. Like you said, Liner does the right thing as well.
Yeah, you need to ask me if you think danger.
Joe Launchbury leaving the field to a big applause from the Stoop.
Don't change, six! Six out you get!
Erne Herbst is the man who's taken his place in the second row. Gallagher takes that at full stretch and has to deal with Smith and then a number of other Harlequins who pile into him, amongst them Esterhuizen.
Herbst and Esterhuizen at the same time. Thanks very much.
Yeah, you ideally want to avoid that combo.
Use it!
Spencer trying to put Bath on the front foot again, but once more that aerial threat taken care of by Tyrone Green.
Chase him with the ball. He's chased him with the ball. Use it, please. Danny.
Gallagher turns, sets it up for Spencer. Duplessis hasn't really been able to find traction in this game, his first taste of Premiership action.
Ben, let's go! No, don't do that, Andre.
Someone else assisting Anthony Woodthorpe with the counting from the Caterpillar. Here is Lawrence for Bath, McConaughey. Quins anticipating that. Murley sets off with great intent. Dragged to the ground by Ajomo, who then steals the ball. And Bath come forwards. Russell arrives in a hurry. Flat ball for Reed. Hill now. Tackled by Collier. Stewart. Better from Bath. Russell to no one in particular. And then the boot of Dombrandt. McConaughey sees no
50-22 is on.
Genuine option in front of him. He's kicked that dead.
It's unlucky, isn't he? He knew what he was trying to do and just hoped for a bit of a better bounce. Probably kicked it too straight, arguably, but...
Andre. Yeah. Quins one. Andre.
Big roar around the Stoop for the arrival of Joe Marler.
Mississippi, two Mississippi.
Off goes Finn Baxter. I think at least half of that roar is Baxter's.
He has been superb today. Carried hard, Finn Baxter, 5 of the carries from the Harlequins forwards. But defensively, some real shot stoppers against some of Bath's biggest ball carriers.
Ben. Yeah, send him on.
We talk about the importance of the benches all the time, but two fresh new props with a ton of experience behind them. And a change at 9 for Bath. Spencer is off, so Bath removing their skipper. Louis Schroeder comes on at 9 in his place.
Very, very tight setup from the Harlequins. Backline here, only Liner with any width at all.
Smith to Esterhuizen, again through that first tackle.
Agreed.
Kerr, lovely pick up from Smith, soft hands for Dombrandt, and then the intercept from Lawrence. Scroden, I think, must be at the bottom of the heat. Annett throws the dummy, heads through the hole, and Stewart tries out his kicking game. Murley gathers. Tyrone Green with him.
Nice.
Smith again. To the way beautifully. And then the break from the new man, Trenholm. Esterhuizen brings in Hammond. Over the top they go. Riley is there. The ball then intercepted.
22 is on.
Big chase on from Gallagher. Smith glances over his shoulder and watches the ball rumble out.
Can't be quick now. Bit of an overreaction.
That's just scattering a little bit of extra spice on proceedings, isn't it? Gallagher and Smith at each other's throats.
Hold on. Time off.
It's a good chase. Kicks back in. Smith gets there first. Decides, I don't want you playing a quick 50-22.
It's a penalty, that.
Yeah.
It's a penalty to Bath.
Oh, okay. No, I'm over here.
We've got a man down in the backfield, which is the reason for the pause. And Stoop breaking into song.
Time on.
Is this an adopted anthem?
Well, no, this is exactly why we should always have a 4-day weekend.
Because people are happy.
Yeah. Work is massively overrated.
Interesting way to offer your resignation, Austin. Barbary to Schroeder to a Jomo.
Popular, though.
Yeah, very. Lawrence not far away. Stoop carries it on for Bath. Really just an exercise in pride restoration as far as they're concerned at this point. Schroeder pops it to Schumann. Barbary offering himself up. And the penalty goes Bath's way. Quins not rolling away fast enough in the eyes of Anthony Woodthorpe.
Five's got to roll first before you take the ball. Five not rolling away.
So the catch and drive on the minds
on the line, please.
of Van Graan's men.
Let's go, please.
Not enough opportunities for this type of drive for them. One's in the beginning of the first half. Just got bundled towards the touchline. A bit more daring with where they throw it.
Niall Annett takes aim. Stook at the front. In they pile, Bath. Plenty of power. Jomo thinks about joining. Schroeder is waiting. And breaks. Jomo. Russell. Quins up really quick. And driving Bath well back behind the gain line. Duplessis sets the target again.
That's a good turnover.
And Quins have the turnover ball, but in at the side on this occasion from Will Collier.
18 entry.
Russell goes quickly, sets off, Barbary from close range, he's held, but he's got the ball down. Had the wherewithal, and there's going to be a yellow card here as well.
Try is good. You're not 10 metres in.
Ernie Herbst is off to the bin, and Barbary has barged his way over for Bath's second.
Yeah, right decision. If it's a penalty there, trying to stop the try. So often in the past, we've only seen yellow cards given when there's a penalty try, but clear, cynical play, really good finish from Barbary. Never retreating. Sure. It is Herbst, is it?
Don't think it is.
No. He's happy to go, though. Not enjoying it. It was either Dombrandt or Collier, wasn't it?
The initial tackle was made by Herbst, was it not?
We'll have a closer look after the kick, Ali.
Thanks, Oz.
He's got it as well.
Yeah, tidy from Russell. And they're quietly having the better of this little period, and they're 2 tries away from a try bonus.
Oh, yeah, the tackle on Finn Russell.
Yeah, it's definitely Herbst. Don't know what you're going on about, Ben.
Those two hadn't retired either.
Send them all off. So Herbst spending 10 on the naughty step. 15 minutes to play. Still a huge margin.
12 blue, change.
Harlequins will feel like their work is done, but I suppose if you're in the Quins coaching staff, you're wanting to see that ruthless finish, aren't you? Big campaigns to come for both of these two in the Champions Cup. As we see Max Ajomo jogging off for Bath. Harlequins have Glasgow here next Friday night. A match you'll be able to see live on TNT Sports. All the games from the Champions Cup live on TNT Sports as Bath work the loop move with Russell. Digs it forwards for Muir. Those giant strides eating up the turf. Green, though, smaller of stride, but no less rapid. Marler for Quins. Bath away to Exeter in the round of 16 in the Champions Cup. First of two away games at Sandy Park for Bath.
Bath have really missed stock in the Singer this week, haven't they? The amount of go forward he gave them last week in the midfield, away from those forward channels, has been really evident.
Yeah, unfortunate after such a brilliant display a week ago. Just that shoulder problem keeping him out of the starting 15. Russell again sizing up a potential counter-attack, and 50-22 is on. He's landed it 5 metres out.
Yeah.
And he's urging his men forwards. He knows they need to find an extra gear here somewhere, somehow.
Well, they just need another couple of scores, don't they? We saw Saracens pick up the bonus point at the end of the game with the big defeat at Franklin's Gardens yesterday. He knows how important bonus points are going to be at the end of this season.
Stoop wins the line-out ball, and Niall Annett gets his paws on it. Schumann for company. And they try to squeeze this Quins pack.
Look at the angle of that Harlequins entry there. That's what they've been doing all game, just directing them towards the touchline, and Bath haven't had too much of an answer.
Orlando Bailey is rocked backwards. Miles Reed has a dart, and this is much more like Bath. Jacques Duplessis, over they go through Stroder. 3 tries in a row from Bath. There is fight in this team.
Thanks, Kitty.
And they're displaying it here in the sunshine, much to their fans' delight. They've been comprehensively outplayed, but they are showing that the contest might be over. Their challenge isn't.
You said it, much more like Bath. The driving play, really good bit of footwork in midfield, and then have to fight for that ball, late lift, and then it's just about that power play. They've tried it so many times, it's not come off. Maybe just that extra little pass from Duplessis. So often we've seen them carry towards the line and then get stopped short in this game. Just a little extra pass gives Schroeder the score, and that's 3.
So one more for them will give them the try bonus. As we've discussed, such a tight league, every single point is going to prove valuable. Losing bonuses, try bonuses. The more you can accrue, the better, quite obviously, as Ted Hill makes way in the back row of Bath. Josh Bayliss is on the field in his place, and this is Barbary, determined to make up for lost time, and the offload is superb. Annett running a nice trail line. Ball is loose, though. It's gone forwards again, and maybe the moment is lost. Dombrandt for Quins, who could do with stemming the flow of this Bath onslaught. Just for peace of mind, if nothing else, from their perspective. They won this match in their heads anyway, a long time ago. Dombrandt, Reed to the fore, Bayliss piling in as well. Smith, Riley, a little bit high from Miles Reed, but referee happy that the ball was targeted. Collier now for Quins.
Use it, please.
Another 5 minutes to play. A man down, of course, with Herbst in the bin. Across comes Gallagher at high speed. And then heads off into the sunshine. Scrudder.
Starting to make a couple of little half breaks, aren't they?
Bailey. Muir. Lawrence waiting on the outside. Scruffy ball that came off Lewis Liner, I think, and Lawrence looking to work the feet, and Bayliss keeps it alive. Scrudder onwards to Schoeman. Harlequins struggling to contain this at the moment. Gallagher, the kick pass to Barbary. Tries his own little chip kick.
Going to go back for the deliberate knock on there. I'm happy with that one. Nothing there.
William just looking to see on outside man here.
Probably look at this.
Got a deliberate knock on, just checking there's no potential line break.
Yeah, he puts his hand out there.
That's a line break. That's a yellow.
14, I think it is. Quins.
Yeah.
The fact that it's so deliberate as well, it's not, there's no attempt to catch that.
Yes.
So,
wide angle here. Lewis Liner, 14, I think he's got.
Deliberate knock on the halfway line.
A second yellow for Quins. They're down to 13.
18 points in 10 minutes.
Oof. It's a tough ask, but it's possible. And if there is a team that could pull it out, it might just be this one.
The mark's there. Just watch it on the screen. Yeah, go Tim. Andre, just watch it on the screen.
Russell goes hard at the corner, but he's left them plenty to do from just inside the 22.
Good place for a launch. Just wondering what Barbary was going to do. He's going to go in. They're going to get that drive going, but then with Lawrence in midfield.
Lawrence. Over the top. He's offside.
Lawrence goes down it. Lawrence comes flying through. We'll examine that positioning in a moment or two as Jacques du Plessis sets off into the traffic. Scrudder, Bailey, got it away nicely. Gallagher on the outside is McConaughey. And that is the try bonus point for Bath.
They've let him run under the posts.
Quins have just gone to sleep. And they've conceded 4 in a row in this second period.
Well, brilliant finish, but that initial line out, Lawrence was almost at the ball before it landed.
There's the end play. It's a nice finish on the outside, but Esteisen, he just stops running. That's it, starts walking. He can cut him off there. Those 2 points could be vital.
Yeah, it's fine, but you
the first line out though, Benny, like you said, I think Lawrence was miles offside, but arguably so was Marcus Smith, because they get there about the same time.
Time off. He's coming your way.
40 points to 29. An 11-point margin. 2 men in the bin for Quins. 8 minutes to play. Suddenly, it's tasty all over again. Look at this positioning.
He goes on the throw. It's just whether he's inside the 10 anyway, but that's good enough.
You're not on yet.
You're not going to look at that.
Okay.
Really good comeback from Bath. They've left it very, very late, but
now you feel like there's oodles of time.
Still 8 minutes.
Yeah, first target, get within 7, secure 2 points to take away from the Stoop, but maybe there's more on offer, particularly with the 2-men advantage. And the referee's happy with that challenge from the restart. Bailey.
Oh, it was on that. If that had gone out the back to Finn Smith, they were away again.
Bayliss muscling forwards. Barbary's done much to put Bath on the front foot. This is Bayliss again.
Tackle, let it go! Careful on the floor.
Russell, Bailey, lovely bit of handing from him. Lawrence frees up Gallagher. Muir was screaming for it. Gallagher's still moving, and he's got beyond the 10-metre line. Quick ball. Stewart arrives in a hurry. Oof, that was some tackle from Herbst. But away from Scrudder to Muir, and the ball finds touch, possibly via a Harlequin leg.
If it goes backwards, I think it does come off Harlequins.
Quins line out. Time off.
Does he drop that onto Dombrandt, who's prone on the floor, still injured?
Time's off. Players receiving treatment.
Big shot from Beard. Beard. He's got a beard.
Yeah, I've got
from
time
Herbst.
off. GP. Okay,
there you go,
we're not
Ben.
going to waste your time.
Does he drop it back
Not
in the
gonna waste
field
your
of
time, we've got
play?
time.
Yes. Who does it touch last? Touches. Oh
Touches
no.
Danny Kerr.
Touches Danny
For
Kerr
me,
last.
that
Yeah.
comes off Will Muir's boot at the end. Backwards, and then he knocks it out.
It does hit Will Muir's boot, but then it bounces on Danny Kerr before it goes out.
Danny Kerr's left buttock.
Another thing to throw into
Quins
the
line
mix
up.
here, Erne Herbst, who just made that enormous tackle, back on the field after his yellow card. There seemed to be a little bit of debate about how and when he came on and whether he was a little bit premature. Either way, he's secured the line out as well.
Once! Use it!
Muir. Bath playing with the sort of vigour that they showed us last week at the Rec now. Bursting into life on the 50-minute mark here in southwest London. Bailey.
Tackle release!
Russell, recognising they need territory first and foremost. Danny Kerr under pressure.
Hold it front! Keep coming, well done!
Back to Russell. And he's going to open things up here. Gets it away to Barbary. Smart work. Bayliss to Muir. The cover is strong from Quins, but Muir stays in field. Oh, up goes the flag. That was touch and go, surely. I'd love to have another look at that.
Easy to say with hindsight, but surely he's got to give that ball back inside to Bayliss. But does he actually go out? Yes, he does. Really good decision.
Yeah, foot on the line.
Time off. 8 receiving treatment on the mark.
But he's so tight to the line. He's got support inside from Bayliss, who'd given him the ball.
Yes, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Fine margins everywhere. Absolutely everywhere in this Gallagher Premiership.
Yeah, time is off. No.
Still hangs in the balance with 5.5 minutes remaining. 11 points to make up for Bath. Harlequins still playing a man down. Herbst might be back, but Liner isn't yet. And there are some anxious faces amongst the Quins coaching staff who really must have felt that this was all wrapped up and there was no further debate to be had after that second Esterhazy score.
Fantastic line-out ball from Riley under pressure. Hit double top.
2 passes here is where they want to go. They keep coming to the short side.
Gallagher with McConaughey on the
22's
chase.
That's it.
He's found it.
22, lads. Okay. All right, it's been touched. We can't go quick now.
So Bath in possession.
Time off. 9 Quins.
Cracking kick, isn't it?
Yeah, cracker.
Hold on. Sub.
Another change being made, this time by Quins, and Max Green is coming on for Danny Kerr.
Time on.
Former Bath man, of course, Max Green, 6 years there. The ball plucked from the skies by Bayliss. Barbary feeds it on. Scroder rummaging into those Harlequin shirts. Still they drive close to the line. Bayliss again, and it. Bath's bench has made a really big impact. Stewart. This could make things very interesting. Wide they go. Right into the corner. They've got it down. Elliot Stoop drags Bath unbelievably within touching distance. They trailed, remember, on 50 minutes by 40 points to 3. 40 points to 3. They're now within 6 with a conversion to come.
That's nuts. They bounce out of another line-out drive. Really good 50-22 kick to give them this field position. Then the pick-and-go game, which has been so strong for them all season. Not in the first half. But the control was good. They tie Harlequins in. Extra man on the field. And then really smart initial pass to bypass the first attacking player straight through the hands, and Elliot Stoop slides in. Difficult kick, but regardless, they are within 7.
He's got it.
He's landed it. He's landed it. 4 points the margin, and Bath have racked up 33 unanswered points.
What you will say about the Bath benches, they have made a massive impact in terms of the carrying ability. Barbary no more so than him, but did you ever see this? Is this the biggest comeback ever if they do it?
It would be. It would be. It would be bigger than the Bristol series of events in that semi-final a few years back, when Quins, of course, were doing the coming back. Now they are trying to resist one. 2.5 minutes, 4 points the margin. Quins still playing with 14. Bath in possession, but a long way to go. As it stands, they will take 2 bonus points away from this contest. Harlequins would take 5. Green for Quins. They just need a bit of calm. Harlequins completely lost their way in the last half hour. Marler puts them on the front foot. Stoop appealing to the referee to see if they might be awarded a decision at the breakdown. Crowd banging behind their men, trying to urge them over the line. I can barely believe I've uttered that sentence after a 37-point difference. Hack through, Smith after it. Back they go through Orlando Bailey, who's caught 5 metres out.
Good little fly hack through there. Big pressure on Bath, long way to go.
You don't want to give away the losing bonus point either by playing too much rugby here. There's a lot of space out wide though for the cross field.
And Lawrence is lurking out there, but safety first by the look of things from Louis Schroeder. And the sanctity of the stands is found by the Bath scrum half. 1 minute to play. Is there one final twist here? The Quins managed to pounce and steal that losing bonus from their opponents? Or can Bath somehow conjure a win? Rule nothing out. It's the Gallagher Premiership of 2024. Up goes Levis. That should be enough for Harlequins to see this through. Steady hands and calm heads. Very much the order of the day now. Marler trundles onwards. Barbary makes the tackle. He's pinned. And they'd like the penalty.
Be careful they don't seal off here, Harlequins. Go off their feet to protect it.
Green to the short side. Smith.
Good decision. Really good decision. Bury it as deep into that sand as you can. Get those seconds ticking down, but more importantly, make Bath go from their own line.
Yeah. Last play. Yeah.
One last bit of possession to take care of.
Elliot, how many?
For either side here, whoever wins this line out, Bath have to go the length. Quins presumably will throw everything at this line out. Then they will try and disrupt and dislodge. They do! They get up through their skipper, and Riley drops on it. And after 80 thrilling minutes, Quins win. Just. And only just, having been 37 points clear, they've nudged it. Staggering stuff. A half hour in which Bath suddenly burst into life. Harlequins had enough in the tank. Extraordinary goings on. Quins so dominant in that first 40, indeed the first 50. Full time here at the Stoop. Harlequins with a bonus point victory by 40 points to 36, and Bath take 2 losing bonus points.
What a game. What a weekend we've had so far, and what a league this is turning out to be this season. Austin will deal with the fight back in a second, but Harlequins early on, imperious, absolutely superb. In terms of player of the match, I thought Finn Baxter was unbelievably good today. And Esther Hazen on any other day would have given him man of the match, because those 2 tries and the power in midfield. But for me, the guy that stood head and shoulders above the rest, literally, when he was bombarded aerially in midfield, but some of his running play as well, was Tyrone Green, and he's our Gallagher Premiership Player of the Match.
And if you're a Bath fan, you'll watch that and think after 60 minutes, we're rubbish. But the last 20 minutes told you everything you need to know about them this season. They are definite contenders. Those 2 bonus points they've got keeps them well and truly ahead of some of the rest in the mix. And they've got quality to come on off the field, a bigger squad, a stronger squad. They've just got to start better. We've seen that time and time again this season. If a Bath side starts better, they get off to a decent run, I can't see many other sides living with them in the second half, because they've got so much fight and so much energy. They just need a little bit more quality, and arguably today, a little bit more luck with some of the decisions.
Well, this league just gets more mad, doesn't it? Every single week, we've got some extraordinary goings on. It takes Harlequins into 4th place on 42 points, and Bath, with their 2 points today, up into 2nd, leapfrogging Saracens. So it reads Saints in 1st, Bath in 2nd, Sarries in 3rd, and Harlequins in 4th. Madness, Hugo, madness.